what's going on, what's going on. So as we all know, a lot of things been going on politically here in the midterms, and Stacey Abrams did not win the position for governor for Georgia. A lot of rhetoric, a lot of very hateful speech coming from Black women. Not, of course, not every Black woman, not even a great majority of Black women, but just enough to kind of get attention from some of the things they've been stating about Black men not voting for Stacey Abrams. Also, they're now stating either one, there's not a lot of people who voted for Raphael Warnock because how are him and Herschel Walker having a runoff, that a lot of people are not voting essentially. So is it Black men not voting? Is it Black women not voting? Or is it Black people not voting? And here's the thing, family, freedom to vote. We have all these freedoms in America. You have the freedom to vote or freedom not to vote, and you may feel as though it's your public duty, your civic duty, your ancestral duty. A lot of these things we actually believe, but at the end of the day, family, you have the freedom of doing absolutely nothing, right? But here's my thing. Someone like myself who was voting for a moment there very consistently, from local levels as well as the federal level, voting consistently, I have seen nothing that's for my group. I have seen nothing that is for foundational Black Americans, meaning those people who roots, lineage, and history derive from the slave fields of these United States of America within this corporation. So when we look at these particular things, family, we have to see it for what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a Black face. It doesn't matter if it's a white face or any other color face or any other race. If no one's going to give you what you are asking for, if no one's going to give you what you are owed, then why even go through the semantics of voting, knowing that nothing is going to happen for you or the group of people or your family? That's the thing. So we're going to continue to support people who don't support us. Then some people are like, oh, well, does that mean we go vote for the Republicans? No. No. It just simply means sit your ass at home and watch this shit blow up. Because at the end of the day, family, if we continue to do the same thing, expecting that the Democratic Party is going to do something for us, then we already know that's not true. And again, we don't need to even address the Republicans because we already know they're not going to do anything. The problem is we become too one-sided of a political party for whatever reason, because they may attract or they may pat your back on one or two issues that may have a slight concern of you. Like right now, everyone's trying to back, at the time, Stacey Abrams, right? So Governor Kemp doesn't come in and make these abortion laws. Here's my thing. I just got a quick question before I go into this video very quickly. If Black Americans had reparations, and I know a lot of people say, oh, it's not good. It may not be good for us, like we're fucking pets. Like, I'm a grown man. Reparations will help me out. Reparations will help me build. Now, if the Pookie, Ray Rays, LaShantas, and Keishas want to go use that money for hair, nails, pocketbooks, shoes, vacations, then so be it. But why keep showing up to the party knowing that you're not going to receive anything? It's kind of like you was on the Oprah show and she's like, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Everybody in the room gets a car except for you. And that is how Black Americans have been. We've been along for the ride, but we never reached the destination. Never. Then we get hateful speech from bootlickers and coons about why we should have did X, Y, and Z. Why? Well, they're going to steal the very fabric of democracy. When we look around the world, and we see the harms against humanity of highly melanated people that look just like you and I. And we continue, I'm talking about for decades, almost a century, going through these things with certain tactics. Am I saying that the civil rights movement was a wash? Absolutely not. A lot of those things happened because it was grassroots, boots on the ground, and activists and community that got those things passed. Not those politicians that look like us actually did anything for us. This go back to the history and politics of the people we put pressure on. The dominant society are the ones who change the rules. If you go back historically and look at majority, not all, majority of black political leaders, then ask yourself, what have they done for us? You're going to come back pretty empty-handed. But by applying pressure to the political system in general, no matter the color, no matter the race, that is when you get things done. Because believe me, these political parties will love to stay in power forever in perpetuity. They will love for that. They will love to have Democrats successionally, term after term, 4 years after 4 years, continue to stay in power. Just as well as the Republicans. They would like to stay in power just more than 1 or 2 terms. Now, when we're talking about on local level of politics, did you guys know that Louisiana is the only state that has not lifted the ban on slavery? Just a quick note, because a lot of these state constitutions and laws have lifted slavery from the Constitution. So again, there's a lot of things already in place that people did on a local level, and that you fall under the jurisdiction of your state before the federal government, other than the tax purposes, that essentially, if you don't apply pressure on political parties, you're not going to get anything from them. Because here's the thing. People would tell you, oh, the reason why blacks are not getting what they're asking for in politics is because they don't donate and contribute money. Huh? There's been plenty of groups that have not donated thousands, well, I won't even say thousands, but millions of dollars and got what they want. Have illegal immigrants donated to these political campaigns? Well, the AAPI community are the ones who donated money on their behalf. Man, stop. And by the way, there are a lot of black institutions that support the Democratic side of the House majority than the Republican side of the House. And that's called Christians. That's called churches. You don't believe that these churches give these politicians donations towards their campaign? Absolutely. That is why the politicians go to the church. That is why the politicians go to the church. Here we go.
Well, thank y'all so much. It looks like the reports of my political death have been greatly exaggerated.
Oh, my God. This man up here talking shit. He said the projection of my political demise, I guess, was an illusion. Who y'all talking to? This Governor Kemp. And look, I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, but he is speaking very ballsy, family. Very ballsy.
We took our campaign to voters who normally don't support Republicans, because no matter where you live or what neighborhood you are from, hardworking Georgians want their families safe, their streets safe, and they want good paying jobs and a quality education for their children.
Okay, what's your takeaway from that? My takeaway is kind of when politicians speak very vaguely, we're going to increase jobs, meaning they're going to cut taxes for the rich, for small businesses, but mostly major corporations in Georgia. That's the first thing they're going to do. And here's a great thing, family. doesn't that help black people too? And I know you like, what is going on? A lot of my lights are popping off, family. I know that a lot of you guys are gonna be like, oh, he's switching to one way or another, but that's not it. I'm not. It's just about the way that we look at monetary value, monetary gain, and profit, okay? Because a lot of us, believe me, believe it or not, a lot of us actually wants to work for ourselves.
Our message to voters was about making sure they had the opportunity to achieve the American dream right here in the Peach State, no matter their zip code. Each day of this race, we talked about how Marty, the girls, and I think we live in the best state in the country to live, work, and raise our families. And we all know that my opponent disagreed. But looking at the results tonight, we made sure that Stacey Abrams is not going to be our governor or your next president.
Oh my gosh. That's what you call a bold white man right there. He's like, we reassure the American people, especially Georgians, that Stacey Abrams will not become the governor nor the president. He said we shut it all down. He shut it all down because he's stating if she runs in 2024, he's not going to support her. She would not win Georgia because Georgia is majority red. That's what he's stating.
The people in this room and hardworking Georgians all across our state know these last 4 years have not been easy. Because of a global pandemic, loved ones were lost, jobs were cut, businesses struggled, and
let's move this right along. Now, here is Raphael Warnock. This Raphael Warnock family. And we know that him and Herschel Walker in December have to do a runoff. Now, I got some small commentary after a couple of these videos. We won't stay here long, though, okay? We won't stay here long.
Hello, Georgia. Listen, I just wanted to drop by because I'm coming back tonight. We got more to say. But I heard y'all were having a party down here.
Oh, God.
Listen, I wanted to drop by and say thank you. Thank you. Georgia is showing up in such an amazing way in this moment. I mean that.
I guess he's trying to motivate the people. I'm getting unmotivated by his speech, but I think he's trying to motivate the people to come out in December, and I guess a runoff. I'm not gonna lie to you, family. I don't know how a runoff actually works. I'm just believing that people go vote again, a second chance at voting. I don't know. Correct me in the chat room if I'm wrong. But nonetheless, family, the problem here is this. We've had too many melanated black representatives in office on a very high level, even the president. And while Barack Obama was in office, we can talk about all the things he accomplished, right? And then the question I would have for you, how did it benefit black people? How did it benefit black people? Because that is my question. Because when he was in office, and I'm just going to name a couple of things, he gave additional funding to Native Americans, the 500 recognized tribes. He gave an American tribe an additional 1 million acres of land. And I was going to do a video because the federal government actually holds land. They actually hold land and reserve land for Native Americans. A lot of people don't even know that. I digress. Did you know that he gave Holocaust survivors $12 million in earmark money so they can live a better life here in America or maybe abroad? But nonetheless, that money was to assist them. It actually said it, that this money is to help them to live a better life, X, Y, and Z, because of the atrocity that they endured. So Obama has given specifically to other groups, but did nothing for his own people. And then you're going to get some haters. Oh, man, you know, it's not easy as you think. Things got to get done by voting and pass through the House, pass through the Senate. Then the president can sign into law, executive orders. Would you say, executive orders? There's a lot of power that the president have. Why do you think being the American president is such a big deal outside of the military realm of having military power and nuclear power? Outside of that, it's the amount of power that he has in his pen. I mean, you could be in jail for 5 years. You can be in jail for 5 years and you killed 30 people, you was a serial killer, and the president can just sign you out. That's how much power he has. That's how much power he has. There's a certain amount of the military force that he can have invade the country without going through Congress. That is the power that he has. So when people, oh, yeah, the president is just a figurehead. Yeah, but being the figurehead and the man in position, you still have some power. You don't have ultimate power. The government was set up so you would never have ultimate power, but you got enough power to be dangerous. And people are not understanding that. So we were talking about when Kamala Harris got on national TV, because they don't care what they said, as long as they disrespecting black people. And the interviewer said, would you do anything specifically for American descendant of slaves, black people? She said, if it doesn't benefit all, then no, I will not do anything specifically for black Americans. No, that's how she said it. She said, no, she won't. But she talked about all these, all lives matter, all these inclusionary legislation like the LIFT Act. Oh, you know, the LIFT Act is to lift everybody up. Well, if you're at the bottom and everybody gets lifted up, aren't you still at the bottom? Then basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, when they asked Obama, why didn't you sign off on giving black Americans reparation? He said, because of white guilt. That's what he said. I'm paraphrasing. But in a nutshell, he said, because of white guilt, that white people will be guilty of all these black people with money. I wonder how black people feel with all these white people with money. Interesting. Why can't we all just have money? I don't get that either, right? Oh, no. There needs to be a slave class. Oh, let me do modern day terms. There may be a peasant class. No. Let me get more modern, more innovative. There needs to be a workforce. Everybody can't be on vacation. See, one thing that America sells to the world so they can attract talent, and they understand they're going to be attracting talent, they're going to be attracting trash, they're going to be attracting people who are not useful to America, but they're going to attract the talent, and everybody is going to become part of the workforce. Everybody can't be on vacation at the same time, family. Everybody can't be on a vacation at the same time. Somebody got to work. But I can tell you this, I know a lot of people like, nah, man, I'd rather have my own business. Will reparations help you with your own business? Yes. Will reparations help women, single mothers, single men with children? Well, I can't really bring in single men with children with this, but single mothers with children got pregnant and now thinking about abortion. Would reparations help them take care of the child and prevent them from aborting their babies? Because I necessarily don't think women want to naturally. Now there's no health risks. There was no incest. There was no rape. Just you straight up slept with a guy, got pregnant. It didn't work out. I would think that majority of women still will want to keep their babies, but they understand that the financial hardship behind it. I mean, again, I'm not leaning one pro-choice, pro-life. I'm not going there. I'm just stating from the financial standpoint that if they have reparation, I'm going to throw out an arbitrary number here, family. $350,000. Do you think they would keep that baby? Absolutely. Absolutely. Then people are like, oh, before reparations, we would have to give our people financial classes. No. If they want to manage their money correctly, then they will go and get that information themselves. Because when people hit the lottery, they don't give them financial classes. When people start businesses, they don't give them financial class. They may learn that information on their own, but essentially, just like any other people, you're going to have people who hit the lottery and in 5 years they're broke. You can give people this money in 5 years they're going to be broke. There's going to be other people who hit the lottery and build businesses from it. Just as well as going to be people who get reparations and build business from it as well. And that is what they don't want. They don't want us to compete on an enterprise and corporate level. Because now you're going to see a bunch of black folk driving around in Porsche, driving around in Ferraris, instead of just entertainers, rappers, and movie stars. Because anytime you're driving around a nice car, they're not thinking, oh, he's the owner, founder, and CEO of his own billion-dollar company. They're not thinking that, even though you have on a suit. They're like, hey, are you in the music industry? Hey, do you play sports? Hey, do you act? Maybe I saw you on TV. No, I own Uber. Oh. I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm the CEO, founder, my COO. Well, how many people work for Uber? Millions. It's worth billions of dollars. And I'm just using Uber as an example. But that's the point I'm making, family. And it all starts right now. We keep voting and voting and voting and voting and voting and voting and voting. And we don't never get anything in return. But they distract our attention to everybody else's topics, everybody else's points. There's not one legislation on the table on any of these political levels, on the state level, the Senate level, the congressional level, or even the presidential level that will solely benefit us, like they have had legislation on the books that solely benefit other people. See, they went out and got their black mascot, Barack Obama, to help Raphael Warnock, and it still didn't turn out good. He's still in a runoff with Herschel Walker. And I don't know too much about Herschel Walker other than that he babbled the whole time him and Warnock debated. It was they both babbled. They didn't really say anything that if I actually lived in Georgia for me to vote for them, like, man, please, you don't got nothing on the table for us. And that's what we need to look at, family. And don't get me wrong, you shouldn't be waiting around for reparation, but there are strategic moves that we need to do as a group, unify and organize as a group. Like the rally for reparations that Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Boyce Watkins, Dr. Kaba, all the Tesla, and all these great people went out to educate people on why we are owed reparations and what reparations really are. That's important, family, because here's the thing. Even if you don't think we're going to get the money, and your life hasn't changed, whether you voted or you didn't, then guess what? Don't vote, right? And to see what happens. Because last time you voted, right? And nothing really happened in your life. Nothing, oh, well, my uncle, he got covered over Obamacare. Okay. You could have got Medicaid. That's why everybody paid these extra taxes every month. But nonetheless, I digress. We covered a bunch of people who majority of the country is white. So covered majority of white people, FYI. And nothing's wrong with that. I'm just stating a fact there. So with that being said, try something different. Try something different. Yeah, I mean, when I was voting, I'll be straight up with you. I was in the military and I voted for George Bush. Why did I vote for George Bush? Because he gave 3.4% pay increase for the military. But I was one track minded. See, it wasn't just me, it was the whole military. Next time I voted for Barack Obama twice. What did I get out of it? What did the people get out of it? What did the community get out of it? What did Foundation Black Americans get out of it? Absolutely nothing. So now that I'm well educated on the topic, I understand the power in doing absolutely nothing. Because isn't it amazing to me how they'll get Democrats, Democratic shills, coons, bootlickers, Sambos, and they will send them out in droves and demonize people who are like, hey, that you not voting for tangibles, that's stupid. What? No tangibles, no vote. If you don't vote, you don't have a voice. You know what? And I say this a lot, family. I don't understand that. I don't understand if you don't vote, you don't have a voice. Yes, I have a voice. I'm stating that the candidates that are upon me, I do not want to vote into office for one, or rather, let me flip it. The candidates that are running don't have anything on the table for me, my family, or my group. I mean group, I mean the Black American family. And then two, oh no, what was the purpose? See, we're not thinking about the bigger picture. They come out with one of these two headlines. Don't you want control over your body? You don't want the government in your pants telling you what you can and cannot do. You should get abortion or not abortion. They use that. Oh man, they use that very, very strategically. And it worked in some states. Then they came out with a very denigrating, horrible video talking about no voting, no vucking. Which meaning that no voting, no sex. Because if you saw the video, it was like no voting, no sex. And they had Trina in there and another fella doing some sort of music video. They made a whole video out of it. Just like last year, they were saying, get your booties to the poll. Huh? And they used, in my opinion, overweight strippers to relay that message. What? And then when I look at Asians, Hispanics, whites, I don't see any of that. I don't see any of the mess that these political parties come to us doing. They hold fish fries and give out catfish nuggets and barbecue. These other places don't do that. They're like, when we do these, Black people love fried fish, so let's do that. Black people love music and they love dancing. Let's do this. What is good food, good music, dancing going to get you politically? Oh, we're going to encourage them to vote. So you think Black people are stupid to the point they're going to come out, eat the food, you're going to tell them vote for you, and the food is going to convince them because they did a great job of frying the fish, right? And that these topics that you're going to tell them that you're the right candidate because you share their same skin tone or skin color. No, I know we're not that stupid. I know we're not that stupid. That's like entering into a contract and you're not getting any profit from it. When I cast my vote, that is contractual. And what does a contract usually have? Transaction. You can't have a contract without some sort of transaction. So if I cast my vote for you, what do we get in return? Oh, well, I'm gonna make sure you get pro-choice. Okay, well, Black men don't need that, and not all Black women will use that. So how does that benefit us all? Well, you got the choice. Huh? No. And that's why they distract us to make these other political pundits more popular, and they popularize it in order for you to lean towards that topic versus the main topic is that this country owes you money for the bloodshed and tears and work that your ancestors did, and you're not benefiting from it. But when you look at every other group, then you see what they got. Let me see over here. This light is bright, fellas. We see we got Yolanda White in the room. What's going on, sister? We got Red Wine Entertainment. Peace, love. Likewise. Oh, my brother, Stephen Gardner, my brother from another mother. What's going on, Stephen? He said, I read Democrats spent $105 million on Stacey Abrams. Now they are super mad she lost. Oh, well. Very intelligent of me of saying, oh, well. Business ownership is a great path to wealth. Indeed, it is. And Quatman says, and notice how they don't show how many black Georgians stayed home. Absolutely. Absolutely. The Republicans always bank on business, right? And here's this kind of, it gets kind of tricky. A lot of black people did not vote for Donald Trump, but black people reported, black men and women, mostly business owners reported that they made more money under Trump than any other political figure, more than under Obama. And again, for family, I'm apolitical. I don't lean left. I don't lean right. I don't like red. I don't like blue in those terms for politics. But nonetheless, I'm just stating that the power of positioning yourself and I know people hate this term, is holding your vote. But why would you vote if it's a contract between you and your vote and there's no transactions being done? They're not giving you anything. And the only thing they're doing is demonizing one political group, like the Democrats demonize Republicans, or Republicans downgrade the Democrats, and they both talk bad about each other. And you're just kind of sitting there listening to both of them, and you're trying to figure out who has the better argument. But none of them are pertaining to you. It's kind of like the disrespect that Joe Biden showed when he said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. You know, I think the worst thing I heard from a Republican in the past 5 years of them attacking the term woke, which is kind of a racial trope for black people, but they use the word woke. But I never heard them blatantly come out and say, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Damn. I mean, are you the plantation master? I mean, are you the slave master and I'm on your plantation? Like, if I don't do what you say, then I'm not who I am. And we still went out in majority and voted for Joe Biden. And we're still waiting for him to come out on his promises. And we're still waiting for him to meet with Ice Cube. And he has not. See, when Ice Cube presented that contract with Black America, you see what he called it? Contractual, because there's going to be a lot of transactions. So people in business understand this term, and that's why he took some lawyers and businessmen to create that document. He didn't create it himself. He even said it. But nonetheless, he presented that. He said, hey, can I speak? He went to the Democrats first. He said, hey, can we have a meeting about the contract with Black American and how you could X, Y, and Z, basically some tenets and some meat to reparations, but not fully. But it was a good start, but nonetheless, they didn't even want to meet with him until after the election. So Republicans, Donald Trump said, yeah, I'll meet with you. And again, they didn't do anything, but the respect of at least meeting with them, because they're like, you know, well, okay, you know what, maybe we can give everybody Jolly Ranchers. Maybe we can give you guys all lollipops or something. But the point is, they met with the man. The Democrats didn't. They blatantly and continuously disrespect black people, and we still out there on all these social platforms trying to protect them. And then during this whole thing, they have been literally putting black men on one side, black women on the other side, and sit back and have us infight for black men to be emasculated once again, to say, hey, you should just fall in line, AKA shout out to Tiffany Cross. You should just fall in line. Where's Tiffany Cross at now? Never mind. Besides the point. But when we think about these things, political family, just understand that the power is absolutely in our hands. And if you keep giving up something for nothing, then I wonder who's the fool.